I'm organizing my seeds differently this year for planting, and I want to share that with you. I'm also going to show you some soil testing, and I'm going to show you what I actually planted a week or so ago in this video. So it's kind of jumbled up a little bit, different days, but I think you'll get a good understanding of how I'm organizing my seeds this year, and it's just a really super easy way to do it. So let's get started. Tried this video with everybody home and that just did not work. So this is something I've mentioned before. This is where I get this, garden.org. You put in your zip code and you get your zone. So I am zone 6B, and this goes off of my average last frost date, and this actually tells me when I can plant beans outside for direct sow. It also tells me, like for cabbage, when I need to go ahead and start my seeds indoors. I have a window and when I can transplant them, and if it's not recommended, starting direct sowing them. So you can see, like, carrots are not recommended to start indoors. They are recommended to plant outside beginning in March for me. Now this goes all the way through and actually has a fall planting guide as well, which I will look at a little bit later. I'm going to kind of go over that, but I have a little bit of time before I can get that together. But let me show you what I did with my organizer. So I have these photo organizers, and I have 4 of them. I actually have these 2 clear ones. I have another clear one outside that I need to bring in and use, and then I actually have one that's colored that I'm going to be using for my photos. This works well for seeds. So this year I actually asked for a label maker for Christmas, and I got that, and I labeled all of these so I can just look and see without even having to open this lid and see what is in here. So I have, the only thing I have is it doesn't stick really well. I probably should have cleaned it really well, but this is how I organized this the first time, and then I'm going to show you how I just organized it for planting and starting seeds. You can see there's some spaces gone, some gone right here. This is the tomatoes and peppers that I will show you later that I planted. This is what I've already planted a couple weeks ago, and as you can see, I just took out and I organized these by date. So I went with this paper that I just showed you right here, and I went along, get that out from underneath there. So I went along and I looked at what I wanted to plant. So beets. I want to plant beets. Well, they're not starting. I'm not going to start those. I'm actually going to plant those outside. So if I'm going to plant those outside in February, then I actually have a spot that I took and I put this container is sowing outside. So beginning on the 17th of February, which for me is actually this Friday, or next Friday, I'm sorry, I will be sowing these outside starting here. So that is how I did that. So I put all these together. Now it may say, well, this one actually says beets because that's what was all in here. But if I look at the next one, well, that doesn't work because it's sugar snap peas too. But I put the date, a little sticky note in there, a little sticky tab of when I need to plant. So these are all being sown outside. So, like for instance, this says cauliflower, but it's really not. I just use these, and I will have to reorganize these and put them back where they go after the growing season. Might not have been a good idea. Maybe I should have used one that I don't have labels on, but we'll see. So this container over here is ones that I am starting from seed. So these were labeled the 27th of January, and I started those. My tomatoes and peppers were this past weekend, so I started those. And then I have these that will start this week. So this is all my kohlrabi that I will start. And some of this are other things, other brassicas that I'm starting. So for instance, this is broccoli, and there are some other things in here as well. So there are flowers, and there are herbs. Whatever I want to start on this date is in here. So you can see I'm starting on the 10th, and then I'm starting on the 17th. And when I start on the 17th, starting these seeds, I'm actually going to be sowing some seeds outside as long as the ground is appropriate to do that. So I just went down each one. I basically started with these. I looked at the starting seed date, and I looked all through here until I found onions, which actually started a little bit early, so I did those first. Now, when I got to my broccoli and Brussels sprouts, they were all kind of the same date, so I've kind of spaced those out, and to where I can succession sow those, I guess I could say. I'm going to plant some. I don't want to plant them all at the same time. So I'm going to plant some cabbage starting in February. And then I'm going to keep doing those because I have a window where I can do that. And then, of course, it tells me when I can transplant them out. And that'll kind of depend on the weather as well. But it gives a good approximate. I love this. You can print it out for free. It works really well. Now, it doesn't have everything in the world on here, but it has a good indication of what it would be. Like kale, kohlrabi, lettuce is all kind of the same as the other brassicas, and peppers and tomatoes. Potatoes, of course, I did have seeds, not seed potatoes, but seeds that I am going to start. And but this says to put your seed potatoes out, which I actually do not have yet. So if I'm going to do seed potatoes, I probably need to get those. But this just gives you a good example of when to start things, when to plant them outside, when to transplant, and so forth. And also gives you a fall planting guide as well. I really love this website and this sheet that you can print out because it just gives me, I don't have to think about it a whole lot. I can go off my seed packet as well, get the information there, but this just puts it in one spot where I can add it to my spreadsheet and get it good and organized. And now that I have these organized, I can just pull out a packet, look at the date, and be like, I'm starting these this week. So I will know these are the ones that I'm starting. So it just makes it a lot easier. I don't have to think about it as much. I just did it all at one time, got it organized, and now I am good to go. So I believe I'm doing some soil testing, and then I'm going to show you what I actually have planted and what I didn't necessarily plant. That I didn't necessarily plant everything in the container because I didn't have room for it, but I might plant some later. So here I am out in the garden today. It's kind of it's partially sunny today. I thought it was going to get up a little bit warm enough to do this soil sample test in all these raised beds that I have. I'm going to try it and see. I can always test them again. Some of the layers where the leaves are still frozen. I was hoping the sun being out, it would kind of thaw it out a little bit. We're supposed to get a lot of rain next week. It's going to, of course, the temperatures are going up, so we still have a lot of precipitation coming, and so we're going to get lots of rain, it looks like. It's going to be a very wet, early, I don't know, spring, I guess. I don't even know. We're not actually in spring yet, but so I guess we're still in winter. It's just going to be a really wet, late winter. I guess that would be what it would be. So I'm still trying. I'm going to go ahead and do these, and I've got 4 done so far. I've got 8 more to do, and then I've got some seeds to plant. Still, I'm getting into some ice right there where the leaves are, so I don't know if this will actually work. And I forgot to look at the, whoops, I might get a little dirt on you. Forgot to look at the soil sample, but I'm pretty sure I'm supposed to go down like 3 or 4 inches to where the roots will be. So not topsoil. So I'm just getting some. I don't need near that much, but I figure if I need to redo tests, that'll be good. I'll have plenty. So I'm just going to cover that back up. Kind of put that back down in there. Alright, on to the next one. Alright, so I mentioned in one of my other videos that I've never actually done a soil test before. They actually had it at my local Menards store. Wow. I really filled this bed up with leaves. Maybe, there's soil. Ooh, that looks like really good soil. And I found this, I think last year or the year before. I've just never used it. So I figured we'll test it and see. Gosh, Yeah, that soil looks really good. I think this had a lot of good actual bought dirt in it. So, and I have labeled all of my beds, numbered them on my garden plan, so that's what I'm doing with my baggies. All right, so I got all my baggies. There's my 12 little baggies all labeled with soil samples in them. So these soil samples have to be dry, and so I guess I'll take them in, maybe put them on a sheet pan or a tray or something and open them up and read their directions and hope they dry out really good. They're expecting food. They're not getting any because they're out. They can find all kinds of food. So I just checked on my dirt down here that I have for starting my seeds. I was getting ready to do soil blocks, and the dirt is still froze where it had some water in it. So I have to take that inside, and that sun's really bright coming through the greenhouse. But I have to take it inside now and let it thaw. I thought it would warm up enough to in here to thaw it out, but that is not the case. I should have set it up somewhere in the sun, and I didn't do that. So seed planting is going to halt for just a little bit. I'm going to take that in, and I guess I can go ahead and do the soil samples. Actually, I can't do the soil samples because they haven't dried. So sounds like I have a little bit of time on my hands. Maybe I can watch some gardening videos. All right, I'm actually in my laundry room. It's a completely new day. I did get my seeds planted. I did not get that on video, but I'm going to show you what I planted. So this is my little setup. I think I've showed you this before. This is just a cabinet with a countertop. I have a couple shelves, and I have enough room for 4 of these trays, and they hold 50 blocks, 50 2x2 soil blocks. And that's what I use mostly to start. So I have onions started down here. I have one type of onion that did not come up. It doesn't look like it came up at all. The red carpet ones. So I think they've got like a germination of like 5 to 15 days. So they just may be a little bit later because they've only actually been in there for a little over a week. So they still have time. I did uncover them. I also have to make sure they kind of stay moist enough. The black peony poppies are coming up. These are the tomatoes and peppers that I got started the other day. So these are this is just a spinach container, and sometimes I will use these, and one of those is kind of over on the side. I'm not really sure. It's really wet in there. I just stuck about 8 blocks in there. That's how many would fit. Put the lid on it. And this is a large cherry. I did not have enough room in this one, and I really wanted to do the large cherry because I think I got lots of those last year. It's actually an old seed, and it's this one here. It is, gosh, I don't even know where I got this from. Probably Rural King or something. These are all of my pepper and tomato seeds. You can't really see them because they haven't sprouted yet. This is labeled, so I can't actually move this and reposition it any other way because it is telling me how many I planted. So instead of planting in like complete rows back in the corner, I planted 4, and then I planted 4, and then I planted 2. So I don't know why I did it that way. I did it, well, basically I did it that way. I didn't want to do like 5 of something or 10 and I didn't want to do like 4 and then have 1, and then, which I guess I could have, but So anyways, that's how I did it. So I marked them with this because I didn't have any more of my little stakes that I had before. Hopefully I have more of those stakes in the greenhouse. Now, if you're wondering why I have my glasses up here, it's because I actually can't see far off very well without my glasses, but up close anymore I can see perfectly fine. So it's a lot easier to read instructions for things without my glasses on. Otherwise, if I wear my contacts now to read up close, I have to wear readers. I don't know. But anyways, I have all that soil in here too, and we're gonna go ahead and test one, and I'm just gonna be curious. I am curious as to how this works. Some of the soil looks dry, so I'm just going to do 1 or 2 for right now, and show you how that is done because I've never tested my soil before. And then I'm going to also show you what I actually planted as tomatoes and peppers. Alright, so I'm just going to do the pH. I'm not going to worry about the nitrogen, potassium, or phosphorus right now, which I would really like to check that because I do have those amendments out in the greenhouse. But for right now, I'm just going to do the pH. So let's go ahead and get that started. So we have our little test tube. We have this adorable tiny little spoon. So it says 2. Now this is marked. I don't know if you can, yeah, you can see that. So we're going to add soil up to the 1 mil mark. So this is bed 11. And I'm not really sure. I'm just going to scoop some out of here. So you want to make sure that it is soil and it's not leaves. Oh, that's perfect. 1 mil of soil. Alright, so bed 11. I'm just going to go ahead and close that one, so maybe I know that I've done that one. And then we take this barium sulfate powder and we put 1 little scoop. This is like tiny, if you can see how big that is. Tiny little scoop. So we're going to put 1 little scoop. Maybe, if I can get the lid off. Okay, 1 little scoop of that. We put that in there. Let's put the lid back on that. And then we take this pH water test and we will fill this, if I can get it out of here. So this is pH test solution. So we're going to fill this up to the 2.5 mil mark and then we're going to cap it and shake it up. So I really have no idea how long this will last. So, okay, fill that up to there. You probably couldn't see that. It was not on camera. We're going to fill it up to there. We're going to let's put the lid on it. Okay, and then we shake it up. Okay. So that's what we have. That's what we have right now. So this has to sit for 5 minutes, and then we will check it according to this chart. But while we're waiting on that, I'll go ahead and show you what I've started. Now, I think I might start some more later, but I'll have to wait and see. So these are the ones that I put in the old spinach container. These grew really well last year, as far as I know, these large red cherries. These are the ones I actually froze whole, and they're like huge marbles, and I canned those just recently. So this is the free seed that I got, and I did plant a couple of these. These are adorable. I mean, look how small those are, and that's why I only planted 2. So, and I've got more seed in here. So these are called spoon tomatoes. I did plant some Golden Jubilee, and I did plant some Amish paste, and I planted some pineapples. These grew really well that I remember, and this variety right here I also grew, which is just a Brandywine, and it's a red-yellow blend, so you get kind of both. And that is all. I did not plant any of these yet. I might come back and plant some of these later, but I have planted these a couple years ago, but I do not, I can see the more large red cherries. I do want to plant some Abe Lincolns though, because I do like those. But these are the ones that I have started so far in my tomato variety. For the peppers, I did not start any of these. This is a free seed that I got from Baker Creek. I did plant some mixed bell. Now the only thing with these is I will have to really mark them, because a mixed bell, from what I understand, is kind of not true, because if you pick it early, it's green. If you wait, it will turn yellow and orange and then red. And then I have lilacs that turn purple. I did not plant any of those. I did plant some of these Sugar Rush, because I think I mixed these and these up a couple years ago, and I want to see what these are. So I did plant a couple of these. I didn't do any of the chocolate. I did do the lilac bell because I really like the color, and they grew really well. The orange bells seem to do really well, and I planted those along with the California Wonder and my Nata Pinos. These are phenomenal. They grew so well a couple years ago. Last year I had a really bad, bad time with my peppers and tomatoes plants, getting them started. But these grew so well. I had a couple of plants or so, and I produced so many. I froze them. I made jalapeno jam. I canned some. They're just really great flavor. In the last set that I did start, these are all seeds that I have either pulled from peppers that I have grown and I wanted more seeds, or they are store-bought. So this is an orange lunchbox pepper that I started. I did plant some of these, and I also did some of the red ones. And then this is from a store-bought pepper, so I did put store on that. And I don't think, I might actually have planted some of these. It's on the top of my list, on the top of my lid, and then I did not plant any of these. So this is how I store the seeds that I save. I just write on the napkin, and because that kind of helps keep the moisture. But you can see that I got quite a few of these, so we'll see how they come up. I've planted these before, and we'll see how viable the seed is this year. So it's been approximately 5 minutes, and it looks like this is gonna be green to me. I don't know. It doesn't really look like it's changed colors. I don't know. The lighting's kind of bad in here too, but it looks green. Definitely not orange. I don't know. Maybe I need to add more solution. Let's add more and see what happens. Okay, so I added more because I don't think I added enough of the solution to begin with, because it did not go up to 2.5. But that looks green to me. Looks pretty green. I don't know if you can see that in the light. Kind of weird lighting. But that looks like an alkaline soil. And if I'm doing all this right, which is okay for most plants, it could be a little bit more acidic, like neutral would be good, or even a 6.5. So I don't know. We'll see. I hope you enjoyed that combination video of some seed organization, some soil sampling, and just showing you what I am starting so far. I'm going to try to kind of keep you up to date on what I'm starting. This will be probably a week or so after what I've started, so I've probably already started more seeds and hopefully got stuff in the garden as well. I'm excited about spring. I don't know about you, but I have lots of plans, so we'll see how those work out. But anyways, I hope you liked this video. Be sure to like and subscribe, and don't forget to be lovely lights today.